even at that time too, we had a situation where I left to come with the national team, but my visa did expire. Right? And I was thinking, because the security say if you leave, you will be in problems to come back. No, I thinking, I mean, as a national player, a small thing I will get help. Yeah, Trinidad I played for, them go sort out that, don't worry, them go call whoever and give me a visa fast.
Oh God.
So I leave now and we play the Caribbean Cup. After the tournament, no, I mean since I reached, I tell them about my situation. After the tournament, nobody called or checked to do anything to help me.
Oh gosh, man.
You understand? So I was stuck in Trinidad.
And you'd ask extra time. You'd ask a little extra time off after the tournament.
Well, I asked for time.
Because you had to sort out your visa and thing, and the plate off in a suit, I kind of Bacchanal way and shoot. I remember that.
Yeah. So fans posting missing person, but all kind of thing because
the plate off in a Bacchanal way. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. The plate in a Bacchanal way. Like
so,
if he want to balance.
Yeah. So same time now, Humphrey, the last agent, called me. Because he hear about the situation and he called me like, what do you have to do in Trinidad? Organize a visa fast. I said, well, I had to go to Jamaica because I couldn't do it in Trinidad. I had to fly to Jamaica. Like, you want to play? No, I said, better man, you don't know if you have flights. You don't know, you know? You don't know if pay for flight, hotel.
You know what else? You know what else?
Just call in shut us about with the, you know? So I think.
Welcome to another episode of the Trifactor podcast.
This podcast is for Trini football piongs and international ones, where we get to discuss all matters of football, both Trini and internationally.
If you are a football fanatic,
this is for you.
If you just stumble upon here by mistake,
don't worry, God doesn't make mistakes. This is for you.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Most importantly, give us your feedback for future content that you might be interested in. On this week's episode, we'll be discussing.
Before I go handle my, I pay my flight. I end up bringing my girl because she was there from day one. I'm 8 years now. So I got still better come Jamaica with me because I see what's going on in my head right now. I need some kind of support. So and she went to Jamaica with me, went to the embassy one day, and then I had to stay about 5 days in the hotel, and I stayed. Everybody asking where's Shelly, people sending message. I ain't Trinidad, I'm not going out of hiding because I don't know what you see I still in Trinidad. So it was real drama at that time. And when I reached back Belgium now, of course the club want to find me because they say that is negligence on my behalf. I say, well, normally what has happened, the club does help to remind me because I'm new to Europe. I don't know when resident card had I renew and these things. Normally they would send a mail informing you. I didn't receive any. Normally the club does get a mail. They didn't inform me anything. So the agent trying to say that the club wrong as well. So I even told him, and that was part of the argument as well. Look, you're bringing players from the Caribbean to Europe. We don't know the rules here. What is the problem to put my information in your computer in the system? That's what I thought. So you could remind me when to renew my documents. And no,
that's reasonable. That is reasonable.
I said, but I don't ask for nothing. That's what is the problem to do that? And I said, that is not only for me. I said, but you will have other Trinidadians coming, and I want to look after my people as well. So for me, that's simple. So all that was part of the argument. And it was kind of after that situation that things started to go downhill. It was really, really a difficult time. I think that they fined me about 2,000, 3,000 euros, something like that. And I was even asking the agent that said, well, you will help me pay the fine. You will pay somebody because you didn't help pay for flight, you didn't help pay for hotel. You just calling shots. And I said, well, you just help me. No, you're not helping with that.
Yeah, you just helping to collect.
Yeah, and the technical director at that time, he said, hey, your agent collect a lot of money for you, right? So I take that, I keep it, I ain't saying nothing at that time. When we had the meeting, I asked him, I said, look, how much money did you receive from me? He couldn't answer.
Hmm.
He started to talk about who he had to pay, and he had to pay this one, and he had to pay that one. He had to pay Sosa. I said, that is not my business. I want to know
No.
what you receive me. I said, because as my agent, you know what's in my contract. You understand? So what is the problem for me to know how much you get? And if you want to move forward with me, we need to have this kind of conversation.
Yeah,
It
transparency is
shouldn't be a
key.
problem.
Yeah.
No? Of course. And he couldn't agree to it. He didn't until now he didn't answer the question. You know? And my agent know we could discuss anything.
Wow.
Where's the big secret? No, it's my business. But if I ask, what's the problem? You should never have a problem with that.
Yeah.
You know? I even mentioned football boots there. I say, well, football boots. We just bring out 2 boots sometime, you know? And he say, yeah, if I knew you wanted boots, I could have provide that. I say, it's not that I wanted
You
boots,
want
but if a
it,
young
but
player,
is the principle?
you know,
Yeah, checking to say, hey,
yeah,
you need anything, bro? What you need?
yeah, not you know, like, I said, nah, man, I said, I could buy my own boots, it's not a problem. But, you know, and it's little things like that. And then when I decided to make the switch now to the other guy, that is when I had the offer from, well, that Gold Cup. That was 2015, it had Gold Cup that year. And then, well, one of the coaches that coached me at Mechelen, Bacchanal, he was going to Russia. You know? So he ended up, he wanted me to come to Russia.
Yeah.
Like I said, I had a year again in Mechelen. So we ended up doing like a little loan until contract finish and whatever.
Right. That was it. That what the loan was about.
Yeah. So when I was leaving now, this Humphrey, he hear about the move to Russia. He called me and he say he have an offer from Italy. The club want to pay 4 million. I said, man, all the time I in Mechelen, you never bring nothing on the table. All of a sudden, the club want to pay 4 million for me when I can leave for free. I said, that makes sense. But I said, yeah, what, all right. Give me the official offer, everything on paper, and once I get out, then we could discuss a bit more.
Yeah, we
But
do.
the transfer window was closing soon. So what he trying to do is delay me
Yeah.
for that
So when
transfer
those
window.
are closed. Yeah.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
So I think I organized my stuff, and at that time my girl had now come Belgium. She was there for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and then I had to leave. You know, but I gave my Russian visa real fast, so I was trying to get her on as well, so she could have come, but it could not work like that. You know, so she had to back Trinidad. And when I reached Moscow, Sosa called me. These fellas they have an offer for you. Don't sign that contract yet. I say, well, just give me everything on paper, and you know, we go see how it go. I still waiting for that.
Of course.
You know, I still waited. You know, so moving to Russia now, it was a different atmosphere because, I mean, they think because they you come from outside and to them you're getting big money. You might not getting that big amount of money, but you're getting big money. You know, so they expect success and they expect you to play a certain way.
Right.
You know, but it was difficult as well because the time that coach was in Mechelen, I was playing every position, midfield, right back, left back, wherever he needed, I play at that time.
Yeah.
You know, but I decided eventually, look, I want to be a centre back. So the energy to be on the right back and midfield, I don't have that energy no more. You know? And he wanted to put me right back in a 3-5-2. You know? So the fans thinking this man is a winger. He ain't going no he won, he ain't game, you know, kinda. I said, well, this man setting me up. You know? So so that is what kind of went on. So the centre backs mainly had some key players. It had some Belgians in the team as well. But the transition was difficult when it came to the football because the league was more aggressive and everything. Also, it would have slightly better, or I would say better players because of the salaries they could pay.
Yeah.
You know, So
And when Russia was paying a lot of people to come to Russia.
You had Hulk on the internet.
Yeah.
You know? So it was a different team.
Yeah.
So Belgium taxes about 52%, 54% even. You know? So for me, the transition from Belgium to Russia, I was in my league because it had no tax. You know? So,
a big thing, boy.
So somebody talk I was taking was like, but I am considered one just when I watch
Just pay to take that talk, yeah?
Yeah. No? But it doesn't be easy. It really doesn't be easy because Russia, their mentality is they will comment on their pictures.
We know of Russia and of certain stigmas associated. And as well the temperature, boy, is one of the coldest countries.
And that's the thing because it had games where I think the coolest game was minus 15. Minus 15, they would give you some kind of heat pads. You put it in your boots, you put it in the gloves in your hand, you know, and it's snow, rain at the same time. And that's some games. You don't want to pelt that tackle, but you had to pelt that tackle. But when you get up from that ground, you carry on again, you freeze it.
Yeah.
You know,
Russians normal
and them normal now. What I started to realize is that they don't really like it as well, but they don't have a choice.
Right. You are accustomed to better, so it's be like, gosh, what are you doing here? But them grow up here, so them had no choice in truth.
Yeah. So sometimes you see them, they freezing just like me, but they just learn to deal with it. You know? So that is kind of why I did, because even recently here in Turkey we play a game and it was -9. So no, you on that field and you cussing in your mind because you want to know, but why do you on this field? Why choose football for it? You know? And the hard part is the fans, they don't want to hear nothing about it.
He does make big money.
They don't want to hear that. They want the other way, the way to give 100% same way, you know? So it really doesn't be easy. But I mean, in Russia, I ended up making a good relationship with the people at the club as well.
Nice.
And that's why I ended up signing a new contract. You know? It's only when they get relegated that they could only take 3 foreigners, I think. And that is when the opportunity for Kazakhstan came. No? But that city, Almaty, is a nice city. But sometimes when they travel, even like Russia, when they travel to other cities, you realize the thing about it is like World War II. You know, because somebody hotels, it really not nice. No, it really not nice. But I just always say that when you look at Trinidad, these countries no different to Trinidad. They have gas, oil, you know, raw materials. We are the same. But just the way they organize the football and the sports, it's different to us. All over the place. You know, even in Kazakhstan, they used to broadcast their league on YouTube.
Right.
So so that for me that is easier. So I don't understand why Pro League couldn't do the same. You know. So everywhere I went, I was looking at how they do things. You know, taking in the experiences. For me, Kazakhstan was kind of the best experience because the connection I made with the foreign players was special, because even like my girlfriend would have met with the wives, you know, and it was a real nice connection.
You felt most at home there.
Yeah, so even today we still have the friendship we always had, even with the guys in Russia as well, you know. So the international Serbians from Finland, Brazilians, you know. So you realize that I mean, all of us came from similar backgrounds and these things. So it helped to make the connection better.
In terms of food, which place you enjoy the most? What is your favorite?
Well, it hard to say, because I mean, when I leave at home, I just always let my mom's make my seasoning. Roti skin. All-purpose seasoning. I'm packing my stuff and I'm going with it. You know? I learned to cook in Belgium as well. I learned to cook. I call in mom, say, mom's how to do this. Until I eventually do it myself. You know?
Right.
So whenever I miss Trini food, I could cook up something, whether roti, pilau, whatever. You know? So, I mean, everywhere, I always try to find American food.
Okay.
Just always try to find American food. And to be honest, the food are right. I mean, when it comes to sports, the food basically similar: rice, pasta,
carbs and protein,
fish. Yeah, you know. So that is one part. But outside of training and games, I mean, we'll always find we'll have restaurants selling American food. So in Belgium, I would find places like I found a Cantonese place. Cantonese was because a lot of the Chinese restaurants they do have chicken like how they have it in Trinidad. But we want chicken bone and you know? Yeah. So I try to find things close to home. Yeah. So I end up finding a Cantonese restaurant in Belgium. And anytime I visit Belgium, that is where I go in. Even when I went recently with the international break, I still had to cancel my apartment contract and these things. And first place I went was to a Cantonese restaurant for dinner with some friends. You know? Yeah. So Russia, Kazakhstan, these places. I mean, it have quality restaurants, and the good thing is that the cost of living it low. It really you can live on $200-300 US a month.
Okay.
You know, yeah, that is how low it is. Even here, Starbucks is 3 times the price in Trinidad.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
So, if you want, you could eat out every day. You know. But for me, it's like finding
something that meets in your.
Yeah. So things like you could find good meat here. I mean, they would have their typical stuff. They have stuff similar to beef pie. You know. So all these things, I just try to improvise and have an open mind. You know.
Yeah.
I just have to ask that.
Yeah, he's very passionate about it in case you didn't realize. But I wanted to hear because I know Turkey is heavily Islamic, right? And especially like with right now, the month of Ramadan now starting and all that. And you know, it always had that issue with players fasting during Ramadan. How, especially in Turkey, they're dealing with that situation with the league and thing. It running still? What is going on?
Yeah, it running still. What they would do is like they would adjust the training to train a bit later. So, I mean, they would do it based on their upbringing. So some players will do it until game day. Some just do it game day. Right. You know, so everybody does choose what comfortable for them.
Yeah.
You know, so even if because last game the game play what 8:30, so they were able to eat a little thing like 7:00.
Right.
You know, before the game. Yeah, the league going on as normal, and yeah, it's just every man for themselves more or less.
Okay, but whatever your decision is, the cool to try to accommodate that best as possible.
Yeah.
I would be impressed by players who was fast and play normal like Kante and Fofana do it and many running hard as ever. That would be impressive.
Yeah, that tough. I hear them joking. We could try it once.
I see it because I'm watching you because at least I could say, "But I faster. You eat it."
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Can I energize both or it?
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely not.
So
but talk to us about
you spent 2 years in Russia and then you went on loan.
Yeah.
No, you went to Kazakhstan. And then you went to Norway.
Yeah, I was 6 months in Norway. Because after actually to leave Kazakhstan, what happened was the president realized we couldn't win the league again. So he decided I don't need any foreign players anymore. And about 3 months before the season finished, he said we could leave. You know, but they didn't pay the salary, and they didn't want to pay the salary. So I said, I'm not going. I said, I trained with the second team and these things. There's a lot of things that people don't understand as well. That depending on where you go, sometimes they choose to do what they want, you know, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. Because their excuse was that we were no longer, we didn't have a professional attitude to the training, right? No, they just record every session. So the foreign players was like, okay, show us it on video. They didn't want to do that. Yeah, they didn't want to do that.
Madness.
So we already see what was going on. So they put us with the second team, and then they brought a document in Russian to sign, like, to me it looked like agreeing that we would move to the second team. But when you move to the second team, automatically your money does just change, your salary does change. So I tell them, I say, well, if you put it in English, then I would sign it, no problem.
Yeah, you can bring
I
our
mean,
Russian
come
document. No, right, what you mean, right? Normal pressure practice, you know.
With that, you know. You
Let's
want
catch you with that. They say, what's this?
Yeah.
Nah, well, this just say it so. But why in Russian? I don't speak Russian so fluently to be able to make a decision like that. And I see as a stamp face of the splong, so.
Wow.
Yeah. They would catch players with that. And that is what play Iran, you know. So before Iran games, about 2 months I didn't play. And I ended up sending Dennis a message. We had a trainer from England at that time, and I told him to send a program. And I was training with the second team, and I was doing his program.
Right.
You know? And I came to the game. After the game, now Dennis watched me like, look, you look like you didn't stop playing, man.
Right.
I said, well, I had to do what I had to do, you know? So he was saying, it's the same, he said, because we have players here that was in a similar situation, but they didn't ask for a program.
Right. Yeah.
You know? So he was telling me, like, I should talk to them. I said, well, I could talk to them fellas.
You should talk to them.
I should talk to them. You know?
Easy coach.
Yeah.
So,
Oh gosh, Lord have mercy.
yeah, so that was the situation. I mean, eventually we ended up sorting it out, and I was back home for a bit. And actually, when I was home, I celebrate my birthday 1 week before, because my girl was like, she just had her vibes like, I wouldn't be in Trinidad for my birthday, so we celebrated the week before.
Yeah.
And a few days later, I got a call from Mechelen again. No, but to come back. But boy, is the fastest I jump on that plane. You know? But what happened when I reached Mechelen, I had to get a police record. I had to get a police record, but I wouldn't like get the police record in time to restart the season.
Wait, a police record from Trinidad or?
From Trinidad.
That's where I see you see.
Yeah, you just had to get up.
Boy.
And
is that normal in other leagues?
No, it is normal.
Depends on the country.
Okay.
You see, because I tell you from experience, right? At school I go into them ask me for a police record, right? Because them had the thing. I say, police record, boy, I studied to get them the slip of paper that's just stuff. So I send them, I email the link now, boy, for them to see. I come in home, I think about all that time. Like when the police take the shutdown. Yeah, I shut down now, boys. I try to explain that. See, look, I have some old ones here, and that is why I always do 2 COC one time now. So I always start one, and then if anything, I receipt to show it and thing, and then I do by Central Police Station because that's the process there. So anytime you have that problem, go Central Police Station. That's your best shot. And have them put on.
But the problem is, I know in Trinidad.
Now you think you can't do it online?
Yeah. So what I had to do, I went to the embassy because I know the people there, and we have a good friendship still. I know them there from before the years I was in Mechelen. So they did the fingerprints. I sent it home, but time it reached Belgium and everything is like the deal wouldn't happen, you know. So I was in Belgium. I had no team. I was in Belgium, and they ended up signing an ex-defender instead. And I ended up staying in a hotel. And I was like, boy, what do I want to do next? Me and no contract, me and no offers right now. But I mean, I still in the gym putting in the work and whatever. And similar to the situation in Trinidad with the visa where I was hiding. It's the same in Belgium. I was kind of hiding. Didn't want nobody to know that I was in Belgium.
Yeah. Well.
You know? So, and then the offers came from Norway. I had an offer from Poland as well. 3 years. And then I had 6 months with Sarpsborg. I also had 2 years with Strømsgodset. And, you know, I just felt like I think the 6 months would have been the better thing.
Right.
Know? Because the Polish league I didn't really know. And I didn't really want to stay too long in Norway because one, I hear the country expensive. And two, they have high taxes as well.
Oh, yeah.
But the difference in Belgium is that Belgium, when they tax you, part of the tax, what they take in, just go towards our pension.
Oh, okay.
So when you reach 35 years, you'll be able to get it back. So the money taken interest and everything because they realize that over years, a lot of players retiring with nothing.
Wow. That's good. That's good. That's a nice thing too.
Yes, that's how Belgium is operating. So to me, I was like, okay, I would take the risk, go Norway for 6 months, try to play because you know nothing is guaranteed, who the coach favor and these things. And yeah, I went Norway for 6 months. Went there now. Sosa again. Went on social media, my career finished. Check who he is now in a league where players go to retire. All kind of negative talk.
Right.
You understand? But I mean, I do have time in that because I have my plan because it depends. Everybody have their part, and for me, like going from Kazakhstan back to a big league, not easy because nobody really would get that respect coming from Kazakhstan.
Right.
You know? And especially as a defender, it's not just like I score 20 goals or you know? So so it's not easy. So for me, the best way to make a step again was to go backward, try and get back into Belgium or Europe. And then from the eyes like I said, I prefer to take that risk. At first I wasn't playing in Sarpsborg as well. And Dennis wasn't consistent communication, like, you know, was my plans for the Gold Cup and these things. And I say for me, I want to play, but at the same time I need playing time. So if I get playing time in my club, I would take it. If I'm not getting playing time, I would come Gold Cup. You know?
Right. Yeah.
But from my experience, nobody does really take the Gold Cup serious.
Yeah, I could see that.
You see how much of our players get contracts in Costa Rica or MLS or anyway from Gold Cup. I don't think anybody get contracts with it.
And they CONCACAF thing, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But they just don't give us that respect. Whether we had good performance and the 2015, that is when we had the throw forward Mexico.
That was a good World Cup. Yeah.
And nobody get nothing really from that.
Yeah.
You know, so one time I realized nobody does take Gold Cups that serious. You know? So for me it was like at the point to make the decision, that is when the next year was to answer Dennis, and then boom, I started playing. So I tell Dennis, I say, well,
after that again,
and most important is if I can play in Europe, everybody watching Norwegian League and these things, you know. So that is what coming happen. So I ended up leaving all the Gold Cup again. And yeah, after that, I had two options, two from Belgium. You know, Mechelen again.
Them love you, boy.
Mechelen again.
Yeah.
And another team in Belgium. And the next team now, I think they were in second division. But I just felt like if I go back to Belgium, if it's not a top team, I prefer to go back to Mechelen.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So I end up talking to them and whatever, and I said, I'll come back. And it just so happened that a few months later, the next team went bankrupt.
Wow.
Way.
Vibes.
Was that because of COVID? Was that because of COVID?
Nah, they had financial problems because they Lokeren is the name of the team, so they were in the top division for years. You know, it was a good club, a really good club. You know, but yeah, I mean vibes again. So
the vibes are done, boy.
Yeah, I ended up going back to Mechelen from there, and then and then from going back to Mechelen now, that is where I thought, well, right, it would be easy transition, play 2 seasons, then dive out, and but it actually didn't play out that way.
Yeah. What were the struggles this time?
Yeah, it didn't play out that way because the first season I went, it had a central defender. He was about 35 at that time. So they had to give him that respect. He was playing consistently and that kind of thing. So I was kind of coming in sometimes. And then it was to readjust to that level of football because Belgium is a high level, you know. So from playing in Norway and Kazakhstan and these things, I had to kind of readjust again. Speed of the game, style of play. And that is when I thought that the next season that I would take the place of the experienced defender because his contract was finished. And that is when they brought 2 new defenders. They brought 2, so there was about 5 or 6 of us for the same position. So when I realized, but them players can't come to take my place because I already realized. Yeah, the coach was kind of grooming me to replace the experienced defender because if you have one at 35 and you get one at 30, playing for that, they get the same experience but younger, you know?
Yeah.
I come in, I warming up, stands. I said, but kind of mad. Because the coach he didn't really believe in having defenders on the bench. If you had a midfielder who could attack for him, that was enough. So you put more attackers.
Wow.
So I always had hope that I would play eventually. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 14 months passed. I still have
no games.
No games. And that time was COVID as well. So fans out the stadium. Magellan's son came. He was 3 months at the time and they ended up staying 11 months due to the COVID. They couldn't fly back.
Right.
So for 11 months and 14 months they were with me. So that was a kind of plus. Yeah, that was a plus. And like I say, in that 14 months, sun, rain, snow, I smile in every session. Every session I turn positive.
Yeah.
And if that's something I need to improve, he didn't say nothing. He couldn't really answer. He was like, "There's nothing I could say." I said, "Well."
But you want to say?
But I was lost. I said, "Well, what going on here?"
Yeah, you picking his side. You can't tell me what to do.
Yeah, So it's like, nah, man. I said, nah, something. That time players getting COVID, men coming out of COVID. I didn't get COVID at all. Men leaving quarantine, not training and going and playing.
Nah. Now you mash a man too, boy. You mash a man too.
How bad it was, I tell you. Other players watching me like, boy, will you do that, man? I call my agent. I said, but will you do this, man, something that I don't know about?
Yeah.
No? And the thing is, I can never say that we always have a good relationship. Even today, we still have a good relationship.
You sure, why? You know what I mean? You sure?
I'm telling you. But nothing. I can't say the man changed. Attitude changed. Nothing changed. Nothing.
Yeah.
Telling you, nothing changed. So it was really confusing. I let him know. I said, Coach, man, right now things not going well because we was kind of struggling with results at that time. And I let him know, I say, regardless of what, I'm here, I willing to fight for you whenever you need me. I believe I'm the best defender you have, but I don't know what you believe and what you see. I respect your decision, but just know I'm here for you. I leave it so. Understand? And just so happened that he come and get COVID, some of the other staff members get COVID. And a coach from the youth team, he was the assistant coach for years when I was at Mechelen before.
Right.
And he find like to have a player like me at the club and to have them in the bench and on the bench and in the stands, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
You know? So he threw me in the team one time. He threw me in the team after 40 years. And at that time the fans find like the defense was lacking stability and these kind of things. You know, and actually from that game I come and get mad at the match. And after that, I play every game after that.
You manage
every game after that.
That's crazy.
And even the coach messaged me after that game and tell me he proud of me, you know. Well done. I said, what? I don't know. Okay, I think.
Yeah, that something wrong there.
I said, what kind of thing? You know? Yeah, you know. So, but I mean, that is just how life is, and a lot of youths think that everything is be smooth, like you see on ESPN and Neymar, and most times they don't. And a country like our it don't happen like that.
Sure.
Still, you gotta look at the bigger picture, because even that time I had opportunities to go to other teams, and I just didn't feel like it was the right time to leave.
Yeah.
But beside your family being there, what
were you
held on to?
I mean, in the NFL,
we held on to keep your mind the right
space.
Right space and to keep from checking out though.
PlayStation.
FIFA and Call of Duty, yes.
FIFA and
Call of Duty.
Yeah,
FIFA and Call of Duty. You know, some of them younger players, Leland Hatsha, Neville Hackshaw, all of it just be on Call of Duty. You know, so that is kind of free the mind a bit, and that will help me. That even today we just still play. You know, so that is what helped me through that situation. Even like, you know, calling my father is like nothing to phase him in life, nothing to always smiling, always positive. You know, like, okay, you're not playing, but you're still getting your salary. You still have a contract. A lot of players want that contract right now.
Right.
And it was COVID time, so I mean everybody fighting for a club, fighting for a contract. So to me it was like, I have a contract, I could look back.
Yeah, still a blessing. Yeah,
for real.
When you say it like that, when you put it like that, I can understand.
Nice perspective, you know, it's a serious perspective.
And even with that, I had other options, even Poland again, some other places. And of course, they would try to offer less limited on COVID. And
the bad big.
To me, it was like, if I get more than one half, and I'm
leaving for. Yeah, that makes sense.
That don't make any sense.
Yeah. So of course, I mean, even speaking to some clubs, it's like, look, he ain't playing 14 months, and you know, there's no kind of excuses. I say, look, I have no pressure to leave. The club not even pressuring me to leave.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, all right, cool. I train every day. Not just put me on the side or put me with the youth. I train every day with the team.
Yeah.
And every day, I have hope for the weekend.
Yeah.
You know, and you're building up with the team. So Wednesday, you have a hard session. When you do play the game, you also have a hard session.
Right.
You understand? So I had 2 hard sessions for the
week. Yeah, 2 hard sessions for the week.
You know? And still, I support that team. I never cuss a player. I never cuss the coach, management. Nobody, boy, nobody. I stay positive.
That's a real good mindset.
Good mindset in truth.
I might have flipped a few tables.
I tell you, and my friends telling me that, say, boy, you good enough because not me. I ain't taking that. You know? Yeah.
Boy, you're collecting your money.
Yeah, that ain't take me because at the end of the day, I have responsibilities. I have bills to pay, I have a family to look after. You know?
As a man keeps saying, he say once that outcome is affecting the income, you know, I tell you.
Yeah, of course. You know? And what helped me to stay to is the fact that we had a good team chemistry.
Okay.
You know? Yeah, we got the team was together for 2-3 years, you know, and some of the guys were even there before. So
but the man probably saying, boy, pause, we need him.
I know, we know this man, boy. Hey. You know, Nah, but you see, and it's important too because you know, easy it is when men not getting play. Our negative attitude could kind of spread it because everybody grousing about the same thing, and you was able to insulate yourself from that and stay, you know, looking positive. So that's real good.
Yeah. It even had our next player from Africa. He was in a similar situation, and he followed to the coach, and you know, like he came in a game, and the coach told him something about it, and he answered back the coach, and he was like, his attitude was like, if you're not using me from the start, then better you leave me home. You know? And after that, things started to go downhill. They bring a new player pass, and everything changed for him. Now he's in second division. You know? So I was trying to tell him the same thing. I said, look, you see what happened to me? You see the approach I take? At least learn from that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Sometimes you're right. You discuss something with a coach, you're right, but the coach always right.
Yeah, but
coach I final say at the end of the day, that is it.
So you can't really win the argument.
Nah, you can't win the argument.
Unless it's power.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean I leave it at that. I mean I try to help them, but yeah, I mean everybody they see things differently. You know? And for me it was like I always say when I know in Mechelen, I would like to be a player that the fans would always remember.
Yeah.
You know? And that is basically what come on happen, because if I did leave before, some fans were like 50-50 and now we don't need Shelly can't really give you what we're looking for until I get them what they're looking for.
Yeah.
You know? And then I play consistently from the second part of last season to the whole part of the first part of the last season. Well, this season actually. Now that I end up leaving, because I mean it was on a good note more or less, because to them was like at 30 going on 31, maybe we need a younger defender that we could probably sell after a few years. You know, it didn't really have much profit to come from me then. So I kind of understood that. So when I had the offer to come to Turkey, they were like, okay, I mean you gave so much to be cut 125 or 30 games or something like that. So yeah.
Like you also testimonial?
Well, I supposed to go back to the fans.
Yeah. You got testimonial.
Yeah, they make a lap and everything before a game.
Nice.
Yeah, so that is basically, you know, that is how it ended. You know, and I tell them, even when I went back recently, I do a little interview, and I mean I don't mind coming back again one more time.
I saw that.
You know? Yeah. So
but what made them choose Turkey though?
Well, I actually always wanted to play Turkey, you know.
How come?
Yeah, I don't know, it's just like well, one, no tax.
Right.
But it's just like I feel like it's one of them leagues that people don't really take seriously.
Underrated.
Yeah, but the level quite good.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So like I said, I always wanted to play here. Even like things to explore the history, because I like history and these things.
Yeah,
you know? So,
for sure.
Yes, like days off, you know, in summer it would have things to do and these things.
Yeah, at all kind of sites, yeah.
Yes, family could visit and would have stuff to do, you know. So when I get a call or the opportunity to come to Turkey, I was like, okay, let me see how fast and how far it could go. And I mean, if it's positive, then for sure it is. Because I mean, even samsunspor, I know about samsunspor from the history that they have. You know, they were in the Super League for a long time. And when I heard the plan of the president, they want to go back to Super League, I was like, okay, I mean, it could be a good opportunity to do something better in my career. Because I don't really like to play second division, but sometimes you have to make that step back.
To step forward.
So, for me, it was a interesting move. I didn't really want to move because I felt like to leave Mechelen at that time. I was enjoying the football. I was playing consistently.